Hey folks, it's me again, Santa Fox here, Devoted Patriots 2 channel. It's Friday. I think we made it another week out here in this crazy world under the Biden regime. And in the meantime, we are just trying to make it. Everybody is paying these high gas prices, looking at this economy and this inflation and dealing with it at the grocery store as well. Worried about our 401k plans and everything else going on in this country under this crazy regime of economic failure. Now, let me just go ahead and get into some economic failure. It's called Joe Biden and his teleprompters issues. You know, he can't read the teleprompter. He can't follow instructions. He can't have no less than 400 staffers to keep him in line. And still, he still needs talking points. Now, I see about 6 or 7 photographs over here on the Gateway Pundit. And I'll leave links in the description below to all these articles I'm talking about. He's got all these just such simple, stupid things on his teleprompter cards, his little cue cards. Cue card Joe says, you enter the Roosevelt building, or you enter the Roosevelt room. You walk to your seat. You take your seat. Jesus. What's this guy in 3rd grade? Says, you ask so-and-so, particular reporters, particular questions. And it goes down the list. And then you thank the participants. See, he don't know to thank people. They have to put that on a card for him. And then you depart. If they don't put that you depart part on the end, he'll sit there and I got some questions to answer. He'll do a little bit of that, and next thing you know, they're having to walk back about a week's worth of his conversation in 3 seconds. You know, he can get us into World War III if they don't walk his stuff back at the rate he's going. They literally watch that guy like a hawk. They keep him on script as much as possible with these cue cards and these teleprompters and these 400 plus staffers. Truth be known, he still looks like an idiot every day. Still looks like an idiot. Still sounds like an idiot. Still acting like an idiot. The craziness of the stuff that's on these cue cards, from what I can see in these photographs. I mean, I don't think there's anybody in elementary school that needs cue cards in order to carry on a conversation and know where to sit and know who to talk to and know how to depart a building without being told to. I mean, my God, what is this? 2nd grade, 1st grade? I don't know. It's pretty sickening. Like I said, there's several tweets and photographs over here of Biden with his full-blown cheat sheet list. He's starting to look like Jeanine Pirro with her binder full of notes. Well, teleprompter Joe is now getting a stack of cue cards every time he steps out in front of the audience, because I don't think he can read the teleprompter anymore. I think it moves too fast for him. One line at a time. You know how that goes. I don't think he can keep up in his mental capacity at this point. Let me go ahead and get into some more news. I'm tired of bashing Joe this morning. It's too easy. Now, I did see that Pete Sessions and Dan Patrick here of Texas, McLennan County Republicans, representatives, between here and Houston, should I say, they both have made their voices heard about the illegitimacy, their belief in the illegitimacy of what happened way back in November, way back when. And they had a convention in Houston this weekend, and Dan Patrick went on to say that we know what happened, and we got to make sure we have better positioning for the next time. More poll watchers, more transparency, more people showing up to make sure that the numbers aren't close enough so they can do screwy things. And I'm just glad to see that Texas knows that November is so very important to keeping the state red. And I hope that each and every one of these states out here get on board with trying to go in the right direction with this stuff. Call out the fudge, shore up the integrity, and at the least, let people know about the necessity for the transparency to do these things properly. I'm glad to see any of my great Texas representatives stand up and speak out against the fudge. I did get to meet Pete Sessions a month or so ago at a town hall meeting, and I got to ask him some really good questions about the 2000 Donkeys movie and the machines and things like that. That's over on my Rumble channel if you don't already know. But I really have a lot of respect for politicians that tell the truth. They can answer any question without going, oh, is there a camera on? See, that's the difference between a good politician and a crappy one. That's the difference between the Kari Lakes and the Lori Lightfoots. You got one that's great at being honest, then you got another one that's going, it's somebody else's fault because it couldn't be my fault. Totally different character of human beings between the Democrats and the Republicans. I don't know that all Democrats are crazy wackadoodle nut jobs at this point, but it's looking like most of them in politics are. Just my own personal opinion, but it's definitely looking that way. I started calling them the gendercrats, and I don't know if that's a racial term or a racially inequitable term or not, but I think they care more about destroying our country and gender neutrality than they do anything. It's pretty crazy. Now let me go ahead and get into this. Kyle Rittenhouse launches a video game where players get to shoot fake news turkeys. And I'll leave you a link to the description below on that one as well. That's pretty comical. And like I said, I've got a video coming out. Kari Lake just destroyed this little Chinese CNN woman again. This is not the first time. This is actually the second time the CNN woman has run up on her in Arizona and tried to play games with her. Last time Kari Lake had a conversation with this woman, she told her she needed to take her mask off and need to put down the crack pipe if she don't know what really happened in 2020. Well, she blasted her again today, or actually yesterday, and I got that video. I'll be throwing up for you directly. A little short video, but Kari Lake's on fire again. I love it. I love it. Oh, excuse me. Now, we've got a lot going on behind the scenes, and with the Supreme Court and the rulings, and it looks like the gun control legislation has been, or docket has been pushed through to protect the citizens, meaning like if you live in the state of New York, even though Eric Adams may not agree with it, if you live in the state of New York and you decide you want to carry your concealed handgun on the subway to work because too many criminals on the subway and that's the only way you got to get to work, well, now maybe some of these poor victims that I've been watching on these subway shootings and these just idiots trying to be bullies in public in places like New York, Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, I wouldn't want to live in one of those places without the opportunity to be packing, because I just see the crime is so bad. I watched a woman the other day get her hair pulled out by some guy on the subway in New York, and there was about 20 people on the train with him that were just like, oh God, looking away, bunch of cowards. Now I believe if there would have been one person on that train that had any balls and had the opportunity, had a gun on them, I don't think that woman would have been accosted, harassed, threatened, and scared just scared to death of this guy that's about 6 foot something. Just a bad situation going on behind the scenes every day in these big cities. There's a lot of really rampant crime that never ever gets reported on because the governors and the mayors in these cities like to cover it up. They don't want to see it on front page news that you got 3 guys beating up a woman on the sidewalk, pointing a gun at her. I mean, that type of stuff happens each and every day, and just like I seen on Newsmax earlier, it's not the men that are going out and buying a bunch of guns at this point, since all this ruling is already in process. It's been women in the last several months that have been escalating in the gun purchases. Women are scared, especially single women, that know they got to go to and from in a crazy world, especially like riding the subway in New York. I wouldn't want to ride the subway in New York without heavy artillery. Just me personally, I've seen too many of these crazy videos of these nut jobs on the subway and just in the transit system over there. They don't seem to be policing very well, and they don't want the people to be able to protect themselves. What's really going on? That's the way I feel about it. But at any rate, I'm glad to see that the Supreme Court sees that protecting yourself is a First Amendment right, or is an inalienable right, should I say. Self-defense is an inalienable right, and can't be struck down. I'm glad the Supreme Court went the right direction with it. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Clarence Thomas. Now, there's a 12-minute video over here on Democrats denying selection results. Sore loser Hillary Clinton is the worst of the offenders. She's cried since 2016 about the illegitimacy of Trump. And there was a whole list of them, but I can't put this over here on the gateway. There's also a video, or actually some pictures over here of Gateway, or of on Gateway Pundit, of Teleprompter Joe, then converted to Cue Card Joe. And the sickest part of this whole thing is, if you read the pieces of paper, they're all just little stupid, simple instruction reminders. Enter the room. Take your seat. Ask this person a question. Thank this person. Don't answer any more questions. Depart the room. My God, what grade is this guy in? You know, does he have to follow in line? Does he have to walk with his hands behind his back? 400 staffers, a teleprompter, and a stack of cue cards. And this guy still looks like an out of control, lost, dementia-ridden idiot. Wow, there is not enough cue cards to fix the optics of that man's problems. And that's a fact. And like I said, I'll leave you links in the description below to all these crazy articles. I don't have much time left on my phone here, so if it cuts off on you, that's what happens when my memory is full up with all these pictures I got on my phone. I have to clean all that up here for long. I did see that Nancy Pelosi's husband got a DWI. They finally charged him with it, but it looks like, even though it was in an auto accident as well, run into somebody, it looks like they're still going to charge him with a misdemeanor. Of course they are. That's that Napa Valley Nancy's husband, that's why. Well, we've got some more articles on here on the Gateway Pundit this morning that are just good news as well. It says, get woke, go broke. Netflix axes 300 more employees due to their inability to get new people on their site. As a matter of fact, they're losing people for their subscription rate is literally shrinking all the time. And it's for a couple of reasons. One is because people have the option to share their Netflix accounts, and that's really kind of kicked them in the teeth. And the other is they went so woke that people are just turning it off, changing the station, killing their subscriptions because they don't want it. Who wants to pay for CNN Plus to lie to you? Who wants to watch Netflix when all they're doing is pumping Pride Month to you for 12 months a year? I mean, really, some people do not choose to look at that stuff. And if that's all you got over there to offer, a bunch of lies and a bunch of pumping the ideology, who wants that? Not me. I would never pay for Netflix for those very reasons alone. I feel the same way about Amazon Prime. I got the Fire Stick, but I would not subscribe to Amazon Prime. They got too many trans, confusionistic children's shows over there to ever get my money. And that's just how I feel about that. Now, this